right, it is Thursday, May 19th, 2022, and today is Mimble Activation Day on Litecoin. What is Litecoin, you may ask? Well, it's sound money for the digital age. It is a cryptocurrency. It is a decentralized form of digital money that you can hold in your own possession. No central bank, no government can tell you when to spend it, when not to spend it. Unlike the US dollar. Doesn't rob you of your wealth. Well, maybe if you hold it. You buy it when it's $400 and then you hold it till it's $50. You can say it robs you of your wealth. No, but you hold it in your possession. You have access to it. You can send it anywhere around the world 365 days a year, 366 days on a leap year and an election year in the United States. Litecoin is digital cash. It's been running for over 10 and a half years, unstoppable, never had an interruption in the network, and now, today, it has released something new on its code. Mweb has activated. What the heck is Mweb? Also known as Mweb. Well, it is a privacy feature that allows for fungibility of money. You know, there's all these forms of, there's all these things that make money real money. You know, people define it, well, it's fungible, it's scarce, it's, you know, whatever, easily divisible, all these things. And that's the other thing. I don't want to get off on this tangent about divisibility with cryptocurrency and why it's so good. But Litecoin covers all those aspects of sound money at this point. We live in a digital age. We need digital money. Let's not use the digital money that they are going to give us. They are going to present us with, these central bank digital currencies. Nope. Let's say no to that. Let's use sound money that we can hold in our possession, something with a finite supply. That just means that there's only so much to go around, like a big pie, only so many pieces. If you don't get that pie, you're not going to get dessert, and you're going to get what you deserve because you're going to be using vampire money from the old system, Federal Reserve notes, which are going to be turned digital, called the central bank digital currency, where they can control everything you do, stop you from making purchases. Don't get in that boat. You want sound money for the digital age. You want Litecoin. Privacy transactions, Mweb, today, big deal. You're able to send Litecoin without anybody really knowing what you're sending. Kind of an important thing when you're dealing with money. That's why some people say, hey, you know, I'll take cash. And they'll give you a cash discount because they don't want anybody knowing their business. They don't want anybody knowing that, well, yeah, let's track and trace everything that you frickin' do. You know what? You're entitled to privacy. You have a right to privacy. Exercise that right. Now you can do it with Litecoin. Can't do it with Bitcoin. Maybe Bitcoin will adopt Mweb once Litecoin proves that it does work. Big day. I'm excited about it. I'm going to be testing it out. I'm going to be sending it around. I'll let you know the results. I just got done taking my daughter to school. Every day, drop my daughter off. I don't even drop her off. Walk her up to the, you know, through the crosswalk, and there's two ladies, you know, that do the crosswalk, you know, for all the cars and such, and they alternate, you know, one's at the main and then one's directing traffic down at the end of the parking lot. Very nice ladies, beautiful ladies. Don't mind hanging out with them. So I got the little dog, Franny, who's next to me, and she knows her name. She'll probably be jumping up now. But I've got her with me, holding her in my arm, and oh, they're like, oh, give me the dog, you know, so we're holding the dog, and we're standing out there, you know, the traffic's backing up, and it's kind of a distraction. I'm waiting to get kicked out and banned from the school parking lot in the mornings. You go, no more dog for you. But anyway, they're holding the dog, and they're just, oh, and everybody comes up, and they're petting the dog, and loving on the dog, and oh, they just love the dog. And she is a cute dog. But, you know, I got into a conversation a little bit right at the end with one of them, with the one who was, well, actually the one that was down further, and she had to come down and see the dog. So they all shared in the dog today. But I was talking to her, and she says, oh my gosh, you know, we kind of got into identifying, you know, what do you identify as? But they've got a 6-year-old, apparently, oh shoot, a 6-year-old at the school, because she helps out too with some of the classes. You know, they're not just traffic crossing guards, you know, they help out in the school, and so they kind of know what's going on. But there was one kid, she says, who identifies as a wolf, 6 years old. And I guess she said, you know what a furry is? And I'm like, furry, you know, I don't know, I've heard of it, but I heard the term, I don't know what it is, you know, what are you telling me? But she says a furry is when these kids are identifying as animals. And I'm like, okay. Identifying as animals. So this one kid that's 6 years old identifies as a wolf. Okay, so the kid's howling like a wolf. And apparently, some of the other kids, a group of them, they start howling too, back at this kid. And then the kid tells on the other group for howling at him. So they're just trying to relate, trying to speak the same language as the wolf. You know, they're trying to identify as a wolf, you know, wolf pack. And apparently they got in trouble though, because, you know, I guess they're making fun of the little wolf, the lone wolf. So, I mean, I don't know. It was just kind of crazy to me to hear that, you know, kids are identifying as furries. And it's being legitimized, I guess, and being enforced. I guess that's the big thing, because, you know, I'm all for kids having an imagination, because that's what they do. Little puppies, they bounce around, they do crazy things. Kids are the same way. So if we kill that, that's a problem. But here we are in a society to where we are allowing, just accepting and normalizing that, hey, it's okay to just be whatever you want in real life. You know, it's one thing to, you know, have pretend and play cops and robbers and cowboys and Indians, you know, outside in the yard, or pro wrestlers, you know, act like you're Hulk Hogan or Andre the Giant, whatever, throwing each other around. But when it comes down, and, you know, and that's role playing. I mean, that's, you know, theater. And that's good, because they're expressing, you know, all this creativity out there, and, you know, but to actually believe that you are that and be accepted as that is a whole different thing in reality. So where does this lead? You're going to have people identifying as wolves, people identifying as, you know, oh, I guess this week she said he's identifying as a rat. A rat. I mean, what are you going to do? Have fleas on you and spread COVID to everybody? You know, I don't know. But see, there's the problem. You identify as a rat, are you going to live like a rat? You know, they have to ban you because you're spreading disease. Yeah, the COVID numbers are up. But it's just, I look, if everybody can identify as what they want, we have no normalcy in society. We have no culture anymore. We have no standards that we live by, no rules that govern society. And it's like, that's fine. If you don't want to live by any rules, you're going to have to accept the consequences. You know, there are people who live in cities. You got to follow certain rules, because there's so many people living in the city that, you know, that's why they have so many rules, because you have to get along and not encroach on someone else. And it's a very tight space. You know, you can't be just, you know, running the water all the time, you know, because other people are dependent on the water. I mean, there's certain things that you do because you're a community, and you kind of get forced through regulation and through statute and laws, and, you know, but that's just what you're dealing with. Now, if you want to live, you know, free like a wolf and do whatever you want, be prepared to, you know, have another wolf take you out, you know, because they want to be the alpha wolf. Or be prepared to be hunted. Be prepared, you know, for the consequences of living as a wolf. And that's the biggest issue. I'm gonna back in, because the sun, it's gonna melt this phone if I don't. It'll get shut off because it's got this heat sensor. There we go. Now I'm gonna be in the dark. I don't know how that's gonna work, but it is what it is. We'll shut this up, make sure these windows are up, we'll turn this off, and we will open the door and get some airflow for the little dog. And I had the conversation with a neighbor who is the chief of police in the local town just 2 days ago. And he plays music, and he's like, hey, you know, I got a buddy coming over here. We're going to be playing music tonight. You know, let me know if we're too loud. And, you know, I'm like, you're too loud? You know, turn it up, play louder, because, you know, I like hearing it across the street, you know, and it's just, I enjoy it. But some people apparently don't. And around here they do. But I said, hey, yeah, I'm going to have a party coming up. I mean, you're invited. Come on over. You know, he said, I'm going to be out of town. I said, well, we're going to be getting loud, you know, so I just want to let you know. He says, hey, that's why we live in the country. Exactly. That's why we live in the country. You live in a city, you're not going to be playing music loud. You're not going to be outside drinking and carrying on and, smoking cigars and maybe other things, and then drinking, and, whiskey and beer and, having loud music and having a bunch of people carrying on. So that's why you live in the country. You have fewer rules and you choose to live that way. But if you're going to identify as this or that, and you're living within a town, you're living within a city, some sort of, more organized structure, be prepared for the consequences. If a wolf pack howls back, it is what it is. I mean, if you want to be a wolf and you want to be free, then be prepared that, there's other people that feel the same way, other wolves out there. So I look at the whole thing with, everybody wants to identify as everybody. And I hear yesterday the testimony from, I don't even know what she was in the government. And, she was asked by a congressman at this committee that, hey, so you believe that men can get pregnant and breastfeed? Yes. See, this is when there is reality. I mean, there is a sense of, things that do happen in real life. Now, you can live in this bubble that, I'm an idealistic person. I really am. I have, I believe we can change a lot of things. It's just there is a reality that you have to deal with, though, first. And to change that reality, you can't just wave a magic wand and say, oh, okay, yeah, now men can get pregnant and breastfeed. I mean, to have that belief system, it's a sign of insanity. And I think that's what we're seeing with our society. We're seeing people just go absolutely insane. And I see it at different levels. I see it, with that statement that she made. You see it with certain people who I believe, okay, so I want to identify as a millionaire. Does it make me a millionaire? Yeah, I mean, you can manifest that, I guess, the law of attraction, this and that. But as of right now, I identify as a millionaire. Still got to work today. The phone's still going to ring. I don't have enough money to not pick up that phone after work. So in reality, no. If I want to identify as, Michael Jordan. I made a video about Michael Jordan a little bit earlier this week. I want to identify as Michael Jordan. All right, cool. Well, I'm not black, and I'm not 6 foot whatever. I do smoke cigars like he does. I can't even touch the rim on a basketball hoop. I can barely dribble the ball. And yeah, it's an unrealistic thing. It doesn't make sense. You can identify as something, but it doesn't make it true. It doesn't make it a reality. It may in your world. The problem is, this isn't just your world. You got to deal with other people. Now you can mitigate that and you can say, hey, you know what? I just want to be left alone. See, this is my philosophy. I just want to be left alone. So therefore, I don't live in the city. I don't live in a small town. I have a few neighbors who are, separated by a wall of trees. I mean, you can probably see back here, I've got a neighbor. You can't even see. See, it's so far. There's like a farmhouse a half a mile down the road. My neighbor. So that's what I choose to do because I identify as a hermit. I identify as wanting to be left the F alone. So I'm going to take steps to make that happen. Now, if people want to identify as a frickin' whatever, and they're going to go out and have surgery and spend the money on it, cool. I'm sure somebody's going to do that for you. But do not make that some sort of right that is funded by taxpayers, that is funded, I don't even say that, funded by this government. Do not assume that you have the right to just go out and use resources to become that person. Just because, well, I feel like that's what I should be. And, I've been disenfranchised by, whatever. Doesn't matter. You make that choice, then that's your decision. Do it. I make the choice to be left alone. Therefore, I made the choice to live in the country, away from people, so that I'd be left alone. I didn't say, hey, I'm going to live in Peoria, Illinois. Y'all need to leave me alone, as I live in an apartment complex of 1,000 people. That's over exaggerating. There's no apartment complex of 1,000 people in Peoria, but let's just say 100. Not for me. Not the kind of thing I want to do. So I make choices. I want to identify a certain way. I make choices to identify a certain way. And you might not want to come out here because I'm making a video live. You can, but I just, you probably don't want to make a cameo. No, I know. It's going this way. You're fine. Here she is. You can take her. So, huh? Yeah. I'm just yapping away. So I'll finish this up because the wife wants to walk the dogs. But it's just, I identify as a dog owner. So, I have to go walk the dogs. And that's just what you do. So you make choices. You can identify as whatever you want, but, don't expect other people to identify. Oh, look we've got Tilly here. Oh, goodness. Here, I'll get her. There's Tilly. Look how big she is. This was the little puppy about, a couple of weeks ago. Now look at her. Look at this big dog. This is the other dog. So this one and the little one, Franny, they go at it. It's pretty funny. And Franny, she lays it down. I mean, she's a nipper, and she'll let this one have it. Yes, Tilly. Oh, Daddy's baby. Yes, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. Yes, you are. So, yeah, she wants to run now. She's like, all right, got daddy time. So, yeah, I identify as a dog owner. So, I have to, not have somebody, I don't want somebody to, blame somebody else for, taking care of my dog. Well, you need to take care of my dog for me. No. You make choices, and that's what it comes down to. So you can choose to identify as what you want. It doesn't mean we have to include you. So this whole idea of inclusion, everybody needs to be, included and this and that. No, not everybody's included on the Green Bay Packers football team. Not everybody's included, on the Chicago Bulls basketball team. Not everybody's included on a high school basketball team. It is what it is. My daughter has state this week in track. So she's a pole vaulter, and so she's going to state tomorrow and hopefully the next day for the finals. So she's going to the state championships for high school pole vault. Not everybody's included at state. There's like 2 girls from her school that made it and are going to state. Not everybody's included. Hey, I identify as a state qualifier. How's that going to fly? Is that going to work? No, it's not going to work. We have a society of really just insane people that think that, just because they choose to be a certain way that everybody else has to conform to their reality. That's not the case. Hasn't been the case, shouldn't be the case, and people who are trying to make that case are showing what real idiots that they are. I mean, the beliefs that some of these people have are absolutely outside of the realm of any sort of reality. Again, I'm a dreamer, I'm an idealist, but I'm a realist. I want my dreams to come true. I would love to see my ideals implemented. However, I don't expect anybody else to say, oh yeah, okay, absolutely, sir. Yes, let's whatever you believe. It's like, no, I need to convince other people that makes sense. Otherwise, what's the point? Why bother? And I have enough knowledge or enough freaking humanity to realize that, I can't make other people be just like me and think just like me. And I don't want other people to think like me. That'd be torture for them. So that's why I choose to live where I live. And I will do things as I please, because that is how I choose to live. I'm identifying as a nonconformist, isolated hermit, which is redundant. No, it's not that bad, but I mean, I look at the craziness, and it goes back to the conversation I had today with somebody, and they're like, people are nuts. I mean, you look at the people in the schools, you look at the parents, you look at, one of the parents called a lady an F&B because, they're in a big hurry, some old guy. And it's just like, and this is a small town. I mean, what is wrong with people? Why is everyone going insane? And I have my own beliefs. I think it's part of that. We might be in part of that universe, that we're traveling through right now. It might be sun changes. It might be things that we're putting in our body. I absolutely know, from the food to the pricks that go into the arm. I mean, we're getting poisoned. Absolutely getting poisoned. But at some point we just have to step back and say, all right, enough is enough. I'm not identifying as a slave anymore. It's time to, bust free from that system and live how you want to live. And, in doing that, you know, you can live how you want to live, but you got to realize that other people are here. And so you make choices, and you can identify any way you want, but don't expect anybody else to include you. Move out into the country, get away from people. But, you know, a lot of people like to be around people, so get along with people. All right, that's why I buy Litecoin. It's just like I'm opting out. I would prefer to use that over any form of money. And the more people I can find to exchange that value with, I'm cool with that. And it's not just Litecoin. Digibyte, Dogecoin, Redcoin. You know, I like Redcoin. You know, it has no liquidity, but, you know, you've got a core wallet. You can send it from person to person and, I mean, stake it and get rewards. And, I mean, it used to be, there's a fork of Litecoin. It used to be mined out. Now it's just proof of stake. So, I mean, there's just different forms of value that I would rather exchange than using dollars. They just evaporate, and I can't control them. And, they can be confiscated digitally at any point. So you got to have cash at that point. Well, there's only so much cash to go around. Then there's certain places that won't take $50 bills or $100 bills anymore. I mean, it's just a nuisance. The vampire casino that they control, and they make the rules as they go. It's absolutely ridiculous. Right, Tilly? Yes, I know. I know, my baby. Yes, I know. All right, so we all make choices. I'm going to make a choice to love on this dog right now. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Thank you for watching. Trust yourself and just act accordingly. That's really what it is. Don't expect anybody else to think the way you do. And they don't have to. So don't try and force them. You know, then you won't be another insane person in this world. All right. Love you. Have a wonderful day. And hit that thumbs up if you got anything out of this. I'll be back tomorrow. Tomorrow's Happy Hour Friday. We're going to be live, Litecoin, Lisa, and I. And I'll talk about it tomorrow. All right. Love you all. Have a wonderful day.